Bill Gates tries to monopolize America's farmland, even veggie burgers? Hello, this is ChartGPT today. There's a lot of articles out on Bill Gates. I'm not trying to be either negative or positive on Bill Gates, but he basically, there's a report out here that he's one of the largest agricultural landowners in America. So a lot of that's raising a lot of people's eyebrows. He's also making heavy investments in fertilizer, plant-based meats, veggie burgers, the things that he says he's trying to fix the climate with all these things. Him and a lot of other billionaires are monopolizing what say is the national food supply, paving a way for a takeover of the country's food system, similar like the oil barons of the past and railroad barons. So is that what he's trying to do, or is he, as he say in his tweet, he's not trying to do anything nefarious? He's going to give all his money away. All these billionaires that keep telling us they're giving their money away, but they never seem to let it go, and they use it to control. Anyway, it's another issue. But aside from that, we just want to look at basically the farmland situation, as well as these veggie burger and these plant-based meats that they're all trying to come up with. We'll just focus on that, not getting into all the other aspects of Bill Gates, negative or positive. But let's take a look at what he has. This is his acreage. He owns thousands of acres, about 270,000 acres of farmland across the United States. You can see all these different states. In Illinois, he's got 17,000 acres. Arizona, 25,000. So he's got a lot of acres. You can check that out to what he owns. So he owns about 270. But is that the most? Well, the largest landowner might surprise you. I guess this Emerson family owns 2.4 million acres. He doesn't show up on the top 10. So I think the difference is there's land ownership, and then there's ownership in terms of agricultural may be different. So he's not the largest landowner. He's the largest agricultural landowner. So there's a bit of a difference. Who owns the land here? Well, 61% of the 911 million acres is owner-operated, and then another 8%. So it's almost 69% is rented. So there you go. And 31 is owned by non-operator landlords. Individual partnerships, and then the corporation is only 10% of that. So the amount of corporate in farming is still relatively low, but it is growing. So it is of concern, because can they really monopolize? They got a long way to go. In other words, they got a long way to go to monopolize the agricultural industry. So a lot of people are fearing that he's going to take it over and make us all eat his food on his farms. I think he's got a long way to go. Now, getting into these veggie burgers, he wants to own all the veggie burger market. Well, here's the market. They claim it's going to rise here. It's still fairly infant here. It's only 4.8 billion. It's scheduled to be by 2032, 15 billion. You can see the rise there. Even that's fairly small relative to everything else. One of the biggest people in the veggie burger is this Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods. How much ownership Gates have of this is unknown, but take a look at Beyond Meats. It's gone down the tube, so people aren't buying it, and people are trying to buy these hamburgers that I guess are not meat. Impossible versus Beyond Meat, but Beyond Meat is hitting a skid. I think Impossible Foods is still privately owned, but they still sells in the aftermarket sort of a thing. But you can see some of these people that have invested in these, like Katy Perry and will.i.am, and all these guys have invested in this, thinking they're saving the world. But most of these companies are going down the tubes, and here may be the reason why. The rise and fall of vegetarianism. You can take a look at 2019 versus 2022, almost all these countries, it's gone down, except in very highly westernized, very pro climate change countries like the U.S. It's actually originated here. You can see the difference between the light green and the dark green. But almost all these other countries, meat eating is on the rise, except for these Western countries. So that kind of tells you about what the psychology is. Is it more about that they're being coerced by media or not? I asked the question to the AI in terms of what the difference in a nutritional value of plant-based meat versus real meat. And you take a look at that. One of the things that are concerning is the processing of these plant-based meats is a bit concerned, because they do require a lot more processing, and it depends on what they put in the processing, right? Take our online poll. Are you ready to eat veggie burgers or not? Don't forget to subscribe.